Hello, this is Deb from debsdigitaltips.com, and I am talking today about one of my favorite gifts to make. I've made a few posts about this before, but I think this is my first video. So today I'm going to talk about creating calendars in the Artisan software by Panstoria. So I know I've got a few blog posts about some of the traditional calendars I've made before, such as this one. I'm going to pull it up really quick. This is actually an 8 by 12 calendar. This part comes off and it's something you can hang on the wall. And I've made one of these each year for several years now for my mother-in-law because they're awesome, and you can do great things like putting people's pictures in their birth dates so that they can be remembered. But today, since I've already done a post about that before, I'm going to do an example of a desk calendar, and that looks more like something like this. Let's see. Something like one of these that sits on your desk. It kind of has a little triangular frame and you can flip it. So what we're going to need to do first is actually go out to Panstoria's site and get the free blank calendar template for Artisan. And this one, we're going to need this desk calendar for 2015. So I went ahead and downloaded that, and it's all loaded in my software. So, whoops, I hate it when things move like that on me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create a new project, and we're going to pick calendars over here on the left hand side, and I'm going to pick the 4 by 10 desk calendar. As you can see, you can do one of those calendars I was just showing you in a 12 by 18 or an 8 by 12, and they show you a nice picture of the bottom ripping off. And you can also do 11 by 8.5 calendars that you can see in a lot of other through a lot of other printers. But today we're going to look at the desktop calendar, so we're going to go ahead and choose that and hit next. And there's our little blank calendar template here. It shows me a lot of the other content I've got, which unfortunately, even though it shows it, it doesn't mean that it's going to condense it and use it for a desktop calendar. So go ahead and get either this blank calendar, or if you'd rather purchase one that's already got some pre-designed stuff in it, you can do that too on their site. But I'm going to go ahead and do this, and actually I've already got the project started. So let me open up to this. This is what you get once you open it up. You can see that there's all 12 months over here, all the way through December, and it's just a blank calendar. But this is one of the really cool things I love about Artisan, is that they have a lot of ways to modify the calendar block itself. So this to me looks actually kind of ugly. I'm going to show you. I already put a few papers in here. So this is actually the background I chose for January, and in order to view that where I just see the part that's going to show on the calendar, I do the trimmed look so that I can see what's actually going to print. And so I dropped that in there. But if I wanted to modify what the calendar blocks look like, because this is kind of boring, I would right click in the calendar area and go to, let's see, I'm going to go to calendar style. Let's see, actually no, I'm going to go to format my calendar, sorry. And I can change the month. If I wanted to actually make this start in December, I could dial it back and start it, next month. Or I can start it a year from now. Actually, last year I didn't get my family's calendar done until April, so it started in April and it goes through March of 2015, because you can do that. So this really is what I want to tweak, though. If I go to title style over here on the left, I'm going to change my font, and it'll pick any font you've got installed on your computer. It's not limited to what someone else has predetermined. And I'll go ahead and hit apply so I can see what that looks like. I like that a lot better. And then I'm going to go to my weekday style too and do the same thing. I want that one to have that font also, and I can even change how much of the day of the week is showing. I like that it just has the first letter, but I can show the abbreviated weekday. So you can see that changed up there. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. I could actually put the full weekday, but that gets to be a little bit long. So, and then the date style over here, I can also change the numbers there. So I can change it to, let's see, let's try a different font. And that changed my numbers to the Algerian font. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the notes, that's what this part is, in this other font, so that it kind of doesn't get too big or too weird for the block. And mine, I did choose, there was a box that popped up when I was creating this that asked if I wanted to fill in, religious holidays, or if I wanted to fill in U.S. typical holidays, Canadian typical holidays, things like that. And I went ahead and chose the holidays for the U.S. in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this and say OK. And then that I kind of like a whole lot better. And the cool thing about this now is that I changed it one time. I don't have to go through each time I go to a different month, because like now if I go to February, it's going to show me that same boring thing I had before. But if I go back here to January and I right click on this one more time and I go to calendar style, I'm going to come down here and say sample calendar style. And now when I go to February, I can just right click and go to calendar style again and go apply calendar style. And now it's the same way. So I don't have to reinvent that all over again for all the rest of my calendar pages. So now, as you can see, I did drop paper in here. All I did for that was go to my content. I like to actually go in and select things by tags. I think I was looking for winter, so I went ahead and picked winter and selected that. And you can see that was one of the first papers that came up. I could use any of these. I could actually instead add this one to the page. I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger. Maybe that's better. The other one's more Christmassy. And then I can move it on down here below my calendar block, and there you go. It's right there. And I can move my calendar block around, as you can see, and it's showing through, my paper's showing through there. So that is actually most of what you have to do for this. I did actually add a few photo blocks. You can actually insert any number of photo frames you want to, so I'll put another one in here. And then I just need to grab my photos. I've got one right here that I had selected of my kids making snow angels in the yard. And again, if I wanted to add faces to the blocks, let's say that my anniversary was the 19th of January, I can put my husband and I right there and go ahead and edit my calendar cell and crop this picture. That's not the best picture, that's a camping picture. That's my excuse. And put us right in there. So that's really all there is to it. You can probably whip one of these out in a couple of hours tops and have a great little gift. So until next time, this is Deb from Deb's Digital Tips, and I hope you enjoy.